The Dogs, in association with the Greyhound Board of Great Britain. On the programme this week, we take an in-depth look at Saturday's crunch third round heats of the Blue Square Derby. We talk to Dean Childs, trainer of leading classic contender Deanridge Fury. And oh, what a night it promises to be. Ladies' Night is coming to Wimbledon. The dream was realised for Seamus Graham and Loyal Honcho 12 months ago, but just who will be the next Blue Square Greyhound Derby champion, the latest addition to the classic Roll of Honour? Step forward 140 plus greyhounds who have been doing battle in front of some impressive Wimbledon attendances. Results so far have shown a fair spread of success for each track in 40 heats at the home of the Derby. Fastest across the first and second rounds has been Windy Miller and Baherna Best, just in front of the pride of Scotland, Greenwell River. Pace to the bend is always an advantage at Wimbledon, and Baherna Best and Greenwell River come up trumps again, with Irish Raider Melody's Pat splitting them. But it's this dog, Racing Post juvenile champion Fierce Symphonic, that they all have to beat. Charlie Lister's dog is the bookie's favourite for the £100,000 first prize.
Anti-Post's favourite Fierce Symphonic runs in Heat 2 up against Shelbourne Aston and Cabra Boss, and will be looking for a repeat of the good start he achieved in the first round.
And they're racing and away they go. Fierce Symphonic cuts across the rail but clears out and good night. Up into second, Jester's Nap. Then Greenwell River is wide in the orange jacket as they go to the back, and Fierce Symphonic getting away by a length and a half here from Jester's Nap in second place. Now 3 lengths between them. Trying to make progress, Greenwell River. On his outside, Kelsborough Reject is trying to stay on as well. Then up the inside, Glencross Mail. Off the last bend, Fierce Symphonic comfortably in front though. Fierce Symphonic, the Derby favourite, is clear. Jester's Nap's run well in second, but Fierce Symphonic is on top.
While most observers expected Fierce Symphonic to cut into the rails from a trap 3 draw in the second round, it noticeably keeps a relatively straight path on the run to the first bend, before appearing to get a little lost when edging out at the turn. On Saturday, he will have to contend with Lenson Smoothie, who is likely to be moving middle on the run-up from trap 1, as he did here in the second round. Shelbourne Aston, seen here in the first round, also showed a tendency to edge away from the inside fence, although admittedly his early speed is unlikely to match that of Fierce Symphonic. All of which produces evidence which leads us to think that Fierce Symphonic and Lenson Smoothie could perhaps meet on the run-up, making Cabra Boss an interesting runner if matching the early pace he demonstrated in this second round win.
Off they go, race away. Quite a level start here as they run to the first bend. Cabra Boss just getting round them. Goes on by a length. They're tightly packed inside. Juggernaut Gates pushing his way up now and goes into second. Then Glenard Rocket back in third as they run down the far side. Cabra Boss leads by a length and a half. Juggernaut Gates, though, has got him in his sights here. Try and run up on the inside to challenge. Then Glenard Rocket in behind a gap. Then back to Green Mentor. They're coming to the last bend and Cabra Boss keeps on finding here. Down the home straight. Cabra Boss, is no stopping him tonight. Cabra Boss wins. Glenard Rocket's got up for second, Juggernaut Gates in third.
Kennel seems to be in a bit of form, except for the dogs that has got a wee bit of an injury, a couple of wee niggles and that, but the dogs that I have got running are in form just now. Just let's hope it keeps lasting.
And looking ahead, you're in the third round next week, which is great, and then the stiffer test to come. This is a dog that can handle them.
Listen, it's always stiff. This is stiff. This is the Derby, Jonathan. You don't get any stiffer than this, you know what I mean? It's always stiff. And listen, don't think that I'm holding anything and I'm going to fin more later on. This is how I'm out of there every week for it.
Derby's second favourite, Baherna Best, faces a tough third round heat, alongside Farlow Reason and Ballymac Russo, with the 3 dominating the sponsors' betting. Barry Draper's runner had a rough ride in the first round, initially seeming to cut left at the traps, before being buffeted around on the run-up, and eventually only just qualifying. A seeding change made for a vastly more pleasing run for Connections in round 2.
And they race away. As they came out, it was Centre All-Star away quick. It's now Baherna Best lays it down to Centre All-Star. Farlow Reason only third as they turn down the far side. Baherna Best goes on and now leads by length from Centre All-Star. Farlow Reason is trying to make ground. They're clearing away from Glencross Mao as they run down towards the last bend. He's stretching. Baherna Best has gone 3 lengths clear. Make it 4 or 5 now. Centre All-Star, then Farlow Reason, Glencross Mao. Baherna Best, he's back with a bang. Baherna Best scores and he scores well.
You know, last week was a scrappy race, as I said, but he's shown himself what he is.
And I hate to say this in terms of this is only his 4th race of the year. I mean, we've got more to come, surely.
Well, he's trained now for the Derby. You know, I said before, you train the dogs for the first round and then let it all come out, because if you don't, you left it at home and you wouldn't sleep.
Happy with the fact that you've changed the seeding?
Oh yes, yeah. Otherwise I want to change him. There's a lot of wides in this, very wides, and I just thought to myself, if he's coming in, they're going out, it's a recipe for bad luck.
Our prediction suggests all 6 runners should keep a relatively straight path, and that could see Baherna Best in front early. But Ballymat Russo will be a major threat if pacing up as he did in round 2.
And they're racing away, they come. Ballymat Russo just in front early on. Lord Cole is trying to go with him to the outside as they run to the first bend. II Pickle on the inside in third as they head down the back. Then Ballymat Russo leads by 2 lengths from Lord Cole in second. A couple of lengths away, II Pickle, and they're well clear. They run down towards the final bend. Ballymat Russo travelling well at the moment, still by 2 or 3 lengths. Lord Cole is trying to stay in touch in second, but he looks well held. Then II Pickle and Fabulous Quest, easy again for Ballymat Russo. He wins. Fabulous Quest has got up on the outside for second, and then
he actually come out and stumbled. If you watch it, he come out, and I think he come out too well for himself and stumbled, and I thought, hang on a minute, and he sort of gathered himself up and he showed good early, and as soon as he got on the rail, I think that was the end of the story, really.
Irish Derby finalist last year, you've got no concerns in terms of the competition schedule?
No, not at all. I mean, we're only 20 minutes down the road here. You know, we're not doing the travelling like we did in Ireland. He's a nice dog, we've got him right, and I hope that this continues.
Matt Darnell also fields Glenard Sunrise in Heat 6, up against high-class puppy Bandicoot Topoki and Droopers Lee, after his surprising but ultimately comfortable victory in the 2nd round.
And they're racing and away they come. Fizzophonic just trying to get across, can't quite dominate here, and early on Tyra Kerrell is there in front as they go around the first bend. Now Gerard Sunrise goes on, so Gerard Sunrise moving on by about 2 or 3 lengths down the far side from Dotland Hitman. Then Fizzophonic in third trying to make progress. They run towards the final bend now. Glenard Sunrise still in front here by 2 or 3 lengths from Dotland Hitman. Then in behind those Fizzophonic, they run up towards the line. Glenard Sunrise is doing enough for the upset. Glenard Sunrise wins, Dotland Hitman second, and then Fizzophonic in third.
Oh, he's a very lightly raced. He's got a good Irish card. He's come over. We had a few little problems with him, and he's coming right. It was 50-50 whether you put him on or not. We put him in the Derby, taking our chance, and I think he's paid off tonight.
Likely favoured on Saturday, Bandicoot Topoki, seen here keeping middle from trap 3 in round 1, has not really trapped so far, but has shown excellent back straight pace, as he demonstrated in this 2nd round win.
And they're racing and away they come. Down the centre, Lenson Flash got away. Bandicoot Topoki, the blue jacket on the far side. Bubbly Maestro is just in behind down the outside in third. Little gap then to head it on Ellis. Down the far side they go. And as they do so, Bandicoot Topoki has now quickened up. Has gone on by 3 or 4 lengths on the inside. Battling through to second is headed on Ellis. Now 4 lengths down. Then Bubbly Maestro down the home straight. Bandicoot Topoki is well clear here. Charlie Lister and Ray White score well from in second place. Head on Ellis, and back in third, Bubbly Maestro.
Yeah, he did impress me really. He's got tremendous back pace. You know, I mean, the dog what went second to him there is a good dog actually. You know, and but he has got a good back pace, and you know, I think he can only come forward like really.
And a lot of greyhounds don't handle the 2nd bend here at Wimbledon. He did.
Yeah, he does. He runs the bend pretty well. Like, no, I'm over the moon with him. Like,
If I gave you trap 3 or trap 1, what would you take?
trap 3.
Charlie got his wish, and London Water may allow Bandicoot Topoki racing room, but as the evidence of the fastest recent sectionals suggests, there will be little between most of the dogs on the run to the bend. Wimbledon will certainly be looking to pack in the crowds as the Blue Square Derby heads towards its serious stages. Saturday's 3rd round is followed by the start of live coverage on Sky Sports, with the quarter-finals this coming Tuesday and the semi-finals next Saturday. all leading to the £100,000 final on Saturday the 30th of May.
A Thursday morning at Wimbledon is not usually the time you'd expect to see a number of greyhounds on parade, but throw in a team of makeup artists, expensive jewellery, a bevy of beauties getting dressed up for a day at the races with designer dresses aplenty, our own Julie Collier in her finery, not to mention her canine companion, and the plot thickens. So what's it all about?
Today is about declaring a Ladies' Day. I think there's a perception that greyhound racing is all about old men and flat caps, and actually it's not. There are a lot of women involved in the industry, a lot of very glamorous women involved in the industry. So what we wanted to do was declare a Ladies' Day, which is going to be taking place on the 23rd of May, which is the semi-final of the Derby, the highlight of the greyhound racing calendar. And so today, 25 women all dressed up in hats with 25 dogs for a glamorous photo shoot to put our line in the sand and say, hey, we can do glamour too.
It was a great opportunity, good way to promote the sport and get women involved.
So as a marketing person yourself, do you think this kind of idea is good?
Yeah, I think it's fabulous. It's something different and something I don't think people generally associate with the sport as a whole.
If this is a taste of what to expect at Wimbledon on Blue Square Derby semi-final night, then the old stadium is in for an eye-opening lift. A touch of glamour is on the cards as we cheer on our pampered pooches.
Some of them seem to enjoy it more than others, like some of the ladies seem to enjoy it more than others, I think. But they all look absolutely lovely.
Oh, it's been brilliant, yeah. So it's not every day that you get your makeup done and clothes and hats to wear. So yes, it's been lovely.
Ladies' night at Wimbledon is on May the 23rd, the night of the Blue Square Derby semi-finals. From these shots, lads, it looks a winner already.
That's so cute.
After the break, we visit Dean Child's Essex Kennels and see his 3 Derby runners.
Welcome back to part 2 of the dogs and to the kennels in Ockenden, Essex of Dean Childs. Dean, seen here with partner and assistant trainer Miriam Ement and kennel hand Lee Kent, has had a cracking last 9 months or so. The kennel won the Manchester Puppy Cup with Deanridge Fury. Victory landed at the expense of, among others, Derby favourite Fierce Symphonic, while this year already Laurie's Options has won 2 major staying events. He followed up success in the Ladbrokes Golden Jacket by lining up as a leading contender for the Coral Regency at Hove. Come the final, he proved too strong for those in behind and will next be seen over 6 bends on Derby final night. The St Ledger, not the TV trophy, remains the long-term target for Laurie's Options. But now Dean's focus is very much on the Blue Square Derby. He has 3 dogs through to Saturday's 3rd round. From left to right, London Water, Droopy's Lee and Deanridge Fury. And the betting suggests Deanridge Fury is his best chance of classic glory.
He's got off to a good start and, you know, the first round he had an early pace tussle with the 2 dog. Went round, got a bit of a bump, but yeah, no, he done the job well enough in the first round. We was pleased with him. Time was a little bit on the slow side, but he ran in the last race on the night and, you know, the track probably wasn't in as good a condition.
They run down towards the 3rd bend. Deanridge Fury now going on by a length and a half from Jogonoske under pressure. Navivarius moving through into 2nd place. They're into the home straight and in front Deanridge Fury. He's clear. Deanridge Fury will score.
Second race, we was a little bit more concerned about the 3 dog and where he was going to go from the boxes. We knew he was going to move wide and he was a very wide runner. Our lad handled it well, showed a good bit of intelligence and track craft and got the job done again. So no, we're pleased.
You took quite a big clump at the first bend, but showed a great deal of balance.
He did, yeah. I mean, he's a real gutsy little dog, and you know, bumps and don't deter him at all. So yeah, no, he's a true race dog and a winner. So he's got the right mentality for a derby.
Germanin on this side, Deanridge Fury, Germanin, Deanridge Fury. Wait for confirmation, then Raving Black.
Now his 3rd round draw, he's got trap 6, which is good, of course, but he's got a fast starter inside him.
He has, yeah. I mean, I think when you get to this stage of a derby, the 3rd round, they're all decent dogs up to the corner. They've got to be, you know, they're good dogs. So it doesn't really worry me. It's all about what he does on the night. If he comes away in his best fashion, he can go with the best of them to the bend. So it's more about what he does, more than the other dogs.
So only 48 dogs left now, Dean. How optimistic are you of reaching the final at least with Dean Ridge Fury?
I think you have to take it race by race. I mean, Derby's throw up the biggest surprises of all, so we're not getting overly confident with him, but he's where we want him to be at the moment and he's performing well, so we're confident of him. I've got full confidence in the dog and I know he's got the ability to make a final, but anything can happen in a Derby.
You still got something in the tank with him, Dean?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. He's a fresh dog and he's gone into the Derby fresh, so every round should bring him on a bit more. And I know he's got the pace behind him. He's doing some fast trials for us before Derby, and with clear runs, he'll come on a lot.
London Water is the youngest of Charles's 3 entries. He has to brush up on his trapping, but has always been well regarded by the young handler.
He was a puppy that I thought an awful lot of, and he was competing against pups like Demis Fury and Just As Nap and Fierceophonic, and they was a lot older than him at the time, and he held his own really well. So I always thought a lot of him, and he's had a bad shoulder injury, which is the reason why he was left off for such a long time, and he struggled a little bit to find his feet again when he came back. But no, he bounced back in good fashion in the first round.
They go down the far side, they're well bunched here, and in front just is London Water, pressed by I Pickle. They're making ground on the inside is Drumner Classic as they go down towards the home bend. Drumner Classic now into a share of second, then Mountjoy Ruby, they come down the home straight. London Water is in front and clearing away. London Water, I Pickle, then in behind Mountjoy Ruby was in third.
Second round though, he just scraped through.
He did, yeah. It was very workmanlike. I thought it was a good performance from him in the end because he had to work really hard and he had to dig deep, and the dogs in front of him weren't going to be easy dogs to get past. So, I think it was a typical performance that you need in a Derby at some point.
Hopeful the better performance in the third round?
Yeah, I think, as I say, I think the competition there is hotting up, and to qualify you have to do more things right. So, he has to break like he did in the first round. If he does, I know he's got good pace, and he's very strong, so it'd be hard to get back past.
Now, another strong dog is Droopy's Lee. He seems to be getting his draw, track 1. Is that his draw? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think track 1's important to him. He's maybe not blessed with the most early in the Derby, but he definitely rows really well, and from off the second bend, his back straight pace is very good and he comes home very strong.
Well, as a young puppy, he seemed to show a lot of early, but is it fair to say he's lost that, or were we maybe deceived early on?
I think he's matured. I think he's a Westmead Hawk dog, and the majority of them seem to take a while to mature, but when they do, they're good dogs, and I think that's just the case with him. He's matured, and this is what he's matured into.
So not many races going into the Derby. Is there more to come from him?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, he only just come over recently, so he had to have a trial pretty quickly after he arrived back, and he's still settling back down into the kennel. I'm just hopeful that if he can keep qualifying, he's going to be a dog that's going to keep improving.
Dean rates Baherna Best as the biggest danger to not just his trio, but to the rest of the Derby field. But he's happy with his team going into what could be the biggest week of their racing careers.
The 3 dogs I've got left in it, they've all got the quality to reach a final. Whether they will have the luck to reach a final is another matter, but yeah, no, they've all got the quality.
In Heat 7, Greenwell River, made favourite by Blue Square, faces Dotland Tipman and Droopers Knoll after Pat Flaherty's runner showed his Derby class speed with a strong display in the previous round.
And they're racing away, they come. Good break on the outside. Tara Kenny, pace up from Greenwell River though, who's on the inside, and now comes the challenge and lead as they go to the far side. Then Droopers Lee in the red jacket down the inside, and these 3 have shot away. Midway down the back, Greenwell River on the bunny, leads by a length now. Droopers Lee is trying to challenge Tyra Kenny. They're battling out second and third. A little bit of scrimmaging there for Droopers Lee, but he's fought that back well. Down the home straight they come. Greenwell River though still in front here. He's not going to stop by the looks of it for Pat Flaherty, and goes on to score easily in the end from Droopers Lee in second, and then Shelbourne Denny grabbed third.
If Greenwell River traps us smartly again, he should lead up his rivals and may benefit from Droopers Knoll, Lenson Express and perhaps Cabra Fly looking for the same ground. Love Mac appears to have a good draw for Maxine Lock in Heat 3, but has been priced appropriately in a race where 3 runners dominate the market. Joggerdusk Ace in Trap 3 remains open to improvement. As our prediction suggests, the red-jacketed runner is expected to edge away from the rails at Trap's Rise. Drumner Willow, and perhaps at a price Swift and Smart on the outside, could have the early speed to take advantage. After being seeded middle last year, Ninja Jamie has ironically drawn Trap 1 in all 3 rounds so far, with Charlie Lister's dog likely to be a warm favourite ahead of German for Heat 5. In the first round, Ninja Jamie, faced with a greyhound in front of him, edged off at the first bend, but with a clearer route to the turn, stayed closer to the fence in round 2.
And they're racing away they come. What a good start for Ninja Jamie. Gets away. 5 for effect though. Is trying to drive up with him. Ballymac under in the blue makes ground. Just gets shuffled around a little. Droop is director on the outside. They go down the far side then. And as they do so now, 5 for effect is pressed again by Ninja Jamie, who regains the advantage to the outside. Droop is director. Then sneaking up is Droop is Noel in the white now. Could still be a big danger into the straight. Ninja Jamie by the length and a half now from Droop is Noel. Ninja Jamie is holding Droop is Noel. And then Romeo Turbo came from a fairway back for third.
We expect all 6 runners to hold their line at Trapp's Rise, with Melody's Pat and Carlgrove Cougar possibly vying for early supremacy ahead of Ninja Jamie. Jarman, a strong fancy for the competition beforehand, has yet to totally convince. Unable to hold the challenge of Lazarus in the first round, he also failed to take advantage of a troublesome run for Dean Ridge Fury in round 2. The sponsors fancy a close race between Windy Miller and Wise Thought in the final heat, with Cash Dream and Kinda Ready certainly not out of it. Pat Rosney's Windy Miller set the benchmark with this win in round 2.
And they race away. Good start from Love Mac on the far side. Moving up Windy Miller to try and challenge. Atticid Admiral is in between greyhounds. They go towards the first bend. Blomfern and the stripes out wide. Now making progress. Windy Miller has got to the front, goes on by 2 or 3 lengths and opens up down the far side. In second, Blomfern sharing that with Love Mac in the red. They run towards the final bend. Windy Miller still travelling really well here. 3 or 4 lengths ahead as they come down the straight. Windy Miller is away and gone and will score again. Love Mac stayed on once more for second, Blomfern third.
Windy Miller in trap 2 here already has a decision over Wise Thought, one of the widest runners in the competition from the first round, where Martin White's dog was immediately looking for the outside from a far from ideal trap 3 berth. He unsurprisingly adopted similar tactics drawn in trap 4 last time.
And they're racing away they come. Wise Thought a little slowly away, trying to get a run through. Castle Hill Pat is just in front. Wise Thought leaning outwards and checking off at the bend there. Meanwhile, moving up into second, then is Farney King as they go down the back. And Farney King is now challenging and just getting to the front of Castle Hill Pat. Then Malbay Fletcher in behind to the outside. Wise Thought is trying to pick up. Now he gets a run in behind, getting by Malbay Fletcher. They come out of the final bend. Farney King is in front. Wise Thought round the outside. Wise Thought's flashing home. Wise Thought got there. Wise Thought wins. Tight then between Malbay Fletcher and Castle Hill Pat.
He's coming away a lot better than I think he was last year. And he can handle himself up the corner all right. But ideally, you know yourself, you want him in 5 or 6. But there's all sorts of questions asked him down the back straight and he answered them well. So just pleased to get him off safe and sound.
A trap 5 draw should help Wise Thought, while Windy Miller may also edge right from trap 4. On the inside, Cash Dream's early pace as he moves out could mean a slightly missed break might benefit Kinda Ready. Sponsors Blue Square make Fierceophonic their 7-1 clear anti-post favourite ahead of the third round, with Baherna best amongst those next in at 10-1. In a very competitive looking race, Bandicoot Topoki is on 12s, while further down Ballymat Russo is a 14-1 hope.
Coming up on the open race scene this week, Friday newcomers Crayford join Pelor Grange and Romford by seeing in the weekend in style. Saturday is of course third round night of the Blue Square Greyhound Derby, plus Shawfield and Monmore stage opens. Sunday has Hove on the Bags SIS service, plus Coventry in the evening, while Nottingham and Romford share the stage on Monday. For further information on greyhound racing in your area, check out thedogs.co.uk. Our next live greyhound racing on Sky Sports is the Blue Square Derby quarter-finals from Wimbledon. The Dogs, in association with the Greyhound Board of Great Britain.